Happy Whip Wednesday. Here's everything I've been knitting and sewing this week. Part 2. Part 1 had all my knits. Now let's talk about my sewing projects. I have a lot of projects this week, but I just sewed a little bit on each of them because they're all like previous projects I had been working on. I just needed to put on the finishing touches. Project number 1 is this dress, and I'm actually so proud of the way that it turned out. I had some leftovers from sewing this top and a matching pair of pants, and I decided to use the same exact pattern and make a dress. I ended up being inspired by this Sandy Lanning dress from a few years ago, and obviously I changed some of the details up. Like, I did not make it as much of a drop waist. I have shorter sleeves, but I think I did a pretty good job of capturing the general vibe of that dress. I like the faux button placket I sewed in. I also learned this week that I'm able to sew in buttons with my sewing machine. That kind of blew my mind because I thought that's something only fancier sewing machines could do, but my very basic brother was able to accomplish that as well. The only thing is I could have possibly lined the skirt because it's a little bit see-through. All 3 of these are the same pattern. I just did some modifications. So first up, we have the OG pattern, and I just removed all the ruffles from the pattern. The pattern is the Ruffle Brunch set by Matchy Sewing Club, and all I did this week was sew in the buttons because I learned how to do that. I also learned that if I am going to be interfacing a button placket, I have to be aware that all those layers are going to make the buttonholes a little bit smaller. So even though I did measure my buttons, they didn't end up fitting into my buttonholes. So I had to go digging through like my parents' vintage button jar, and I found some sort of matching-ish buttons that fit, and I couldn't find enough of them, but I am okay with wearing it with the bottom 2 buttons unbuttoned. It's really hard for me to find well-fitting tops, so I'm really happy with the way that this fits, and I foresee myself making more versions of it in the future. I really like that the pattern comes with both an AB cup option and a CD cup option. I made this in either a large or an extra large with the CD cup option, and I didn't have to adjust the princess seams or anything. And then lastly, I have this dress, which was also almost finished last week. I think I just had to put in the hem. Again, this was my first time sewing with piping, and I really like the way that it looks. I like the extra structure the piping adds. The downside of this dress is that it's a touch too short, so I will be saving it for fall and winter when I can wear it with tights. Lastly, I also sewed up a little wearable toile of the shorts from that same pattern with another thrifted bedsheet. At first, I thought I would try to make shorts to wear underneath the gingham dress, but the silhouette of the dress just doesn't work well with shorts. It ruins the vibe, in my opinion, because this fabric is so see-through. These are just going to be pajama bottoms for me. And I put in the elastic very loosely so that I can comfortably sleep in them.